RYUC After Action Report Essential, the challenge of an original creation. This recording is part of a series of recordings reporting on an exploration into our creativity, collectively entitled Releasing Your Unlimited Creativity After Action Report, abbreviated RYUC-AAR. This particular recording addresses the creativity essential, the challenge of an original creation. Background on the creativity essentials and the RYUC material. The creativity essentials are concepts, principles, ideas, or whatever one may wish to call them, related to the source out of which our creativity arises. The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed the essentials needed to be addressed and understood in some way by an individual if one desired to move as deep as possible into their own creativity, creative ability, and creative power in this incarnation. Otherwise, one would be placing self-imposed limits on their creativity. Essentials are not building blocks or fundamental items used to create something. Rather, the essentials are about the stuff out of which the building blocks and foundational items arise. It is suggested you ponder, contemplate, do your own experiments with the creativity essentials such that you know their truth for yourself. Here I wish to bring to your attention we each have a very unique perspective of creation. What I say and write about on the topic of creativity with its relationship with the creative essence of creation are my comments based on my observation and experience from the journey of exploration into our creativity. If what I say resonates with you, use it. Otherwise, it's recommended you do your own contemplation, experiments, and exploration into the variety of topics discussed here to see which true for yourself. The challenge of the new original creation. Probably the biggest obstacle individuals have is not understanding what their creative ability and creative power encompasses. Our inherent creativity is much more encompassing and not limited to the usual way many individuals perceive creativity. Many see creativity as accessing different, if not new and original ideas. Or, creativity is seen as the production of artistic works like books, music, painting, sculptures, movies, plays, and the like. However, our creativity extends well beyond the usual perceptions of creativity and encompass both creating our experiences and the reality of those experiences. In essence, our creativity is about creating a new way of being in creation and experiencing creation. Hence, we each possess the ability and power to recreate our life and our way of being in the world. However, most do not realize this ability. Additionally, many do not understand what it means to create. To create is to bring something into existence. It can be a way of being, an object, an organization, or simply acting on any thought one may have. To create lies on a spectrum. At one end of the spectrum is to create an exact copy of something that already exists. At the other end of the spectrum is something completely new and truly original, never before seen or experienced. To create a copy of something, mind is very important. Mind needs to provide all of the details to manifest the exact copy. However, if what is to be created is something new and truly original, never before seen or experienced, at the opposite end of the spectrum, mind is of little value. Our mind has no reference as to what to expect or what it should look like. Hence, mind is of little value. A truly original creative endeavor is to bring into existence something not previously experienced or significantly different. The human mind only knows the past and what it has experienced. If what is created is something never before experienced, mind is of little value. As such, we must enter the unknown for any truly original creative endeavor. Our mind can guess, our mind can extrapolate, our mind can do experiments to see what works or does not work, but mind does not know. Mind may know the attributes of what mind desires or wants to bring into existence, but mind does not and cannot know what that new original creation will look like or be. Our mind cannot know, for what is being created has never before existed and been experienced. As such, we must enter the unknown for any truly original creative endeavor. Additionally, It needs to be noted, our human mind does not like the unknown and is very uncomfortable in the unknown. There can be an anxiety in living without knowing. So mind continually looks for a way to calm itself and reassure itself, and looks for an understanding or a way to make sense out of the journey to create something not seen or previously experienced. It looks to live in the comfort of the illusion it knows what is unfolding when it does not know. As a result, it ends up recreating the past in a new way rather than creating the new, original, never-before-experienced creation. But our challenge goes beyond creating a new, original creation. Our life is a never-before-seen or experienced creation. No one has lived our life before, and no one will live our life after us. We are totally unique. Our life is a journey into the unknown. Mind only guesses at what it thinks will unfold, and as such lives in the anxiety of not knowing. So mind looks for reassurance. Some things in life are predictable with a variation in uncertainty, but nevertheless they are predictable within certain boundaries. We can plant a seed and expect a plant to grow based on the chosen seed. But exactly what that plant looks like will look like something from the past, but it will not be a clone and will be different in some way. Our mind continually looks to what is predictable, and it is difficult for mind to lie in the present moment to see what is being offered. Again, not understanding a new original creation takes us into the unknown. If you really look to create the new and original, especially relative to their way of being in the world, we are faced every day with the uncertainty of life. As a result, most individuals deny their own creativity to remain in the known aspects of life. So rather than embracing life each moment, we continually look to the past and expect the future to be more of the same, with maybe a light variation. Dealing with the unknown of a new, original, never-before-experienced creation. Based on the journey of exploration into our creativity, 3 ways were observed the human mind can experience a truly new, never-before-experienced creation. There may be other ways, but these are the 3 observed ways and personally experienced. Each involve the human mind in a different way. One way is unconsciously. A second way is mind needs to unlearn and burn off its beliefs and what it thinks. And the third way is mind totally useless unless the human mind gains the minimum set of experience. Every creation involves the flow of energy into form and the dissolution of form. Additionally, it observed feeling the flow of energy giving rise to the creation, and aligning with the flow of energy giving rise to the new creation is the only way to proceed until mind gains the minimum set of experiences to understand the new creation. Then and only then can the human mind step in and be of benefit. Otherwise, the human mind will simply be doing experiments to try and see what works or force the past into a new form. Relative to experiencing the new, never-before-experienced creation, this is quite common in experimental sciences. 3 ways were observed the human experience is a new, never-before-experienced creation, of which one we all experienced. The one new, original, never-before-experienced creation we all experience is our life as a human. Our life is a new creation never before experienced. No one lived our life previously, no one will live or experience our life after we're gone. Our life is totally unknown and original. We, of course, with our human mind think we know how the body will grow and unfold, and we think we know and understand how our life itself will also unfold. We look at others and think our life will be similar. The assumption appears to be generally true and reasonable, valid in many situations. So our mind latches on to those observations and mind thinks it knows. Yet each body is unique. Each body will unfold in its uniqueness. Additionally, our perceptions of what we are experiencing is unique. Yet our human mind continually persists in thinking we know and can know what our life is about or how it should unfold. This uncertainty about life gives rise to an anxiety about life. We each deal with this anxiety in our own unique way. Usually mind distracts itself and does not pay attention to any anxiety it may feel about life. Unfortunately, sometimes if one feels too much anxiety, some will try and numb the anxiety through an addiction or 2. or we keep ourselves busy and never pay attention to the anxiety we have about the unknown. The best way I observe to address our life is to learn to align with the creative flow of our creative life energy. Here it needs to be understood we incarnated into human life to have certain experiences and fulfill a role in the orchestration of creation. As said, the creative essence of creation desires to experience its creation through us, and as such, it has an intention for our life. The flow of our creative life energy, which gives life to our body and energizes our life, will carry us to those experiences. Additionally, it will provide the health we need to have those experiences. However, we need to learn to follow the flow of our creative life energy and where the energy desires to lead us. Other than our life, I have not observed any other creation of which we become aware that manifests in an unconscious manner. Quite simply, if we become aware of the possible existence of the creation and have some idea of its endpoint, it's no longer unconscious. Relative to our life, we have no idea where it is going and what the endpoint will look like. Other than death, we may think we do, but we don't. But it has been noted as we move through life, if we look back at our life in a detached way, we can begin to see life moving in a particular direction. But only in time will our mind begin to see how our life experiences fit together. You may never see the big picture, but nevertheless, we can follow the flow of energy through our feeling and the internal compass to keep on track. The other two forms of a new, original, never-before experienced creations are visions, images, or ideas. One form is a vision, image, or idea that we receive, and our human mind thinks it understands the vision and thinks it knows how to manifest it. Here, our human mind perceives it thinks it knows what the vision, image, or idea is all about, but in reality, it has no experience to understand it other than the way which seems obvious. That is, we experience an energy which our human mind perceives as the vision, image, or idea, but is only minds interpreting the energy based on the mind's past experience. As such, any response would be based on the individual's past experience and understanding from their life up to that time the individual received the image, vision, or idea. Our human mind continually persists in thinking it knows what needs to be done. As such, we need to burn off our human mind's understanding and the misconceptions about what needs to be done to create it. Often there is the need to explore what beliefs, biases, and perceptions that need to be shed to see the true nature of the vision, image, or idea to be created. In any case, the mind will continually persist in trying to determine the outcome and direction as to how the creation should unfold. The example where I experienced this new, original, never-before experienced creation would be the request I received asking who would protect my children. I assumed it was obvious I understood who the children were, but I needed to take a long journey before I truly understood and could fulfill the request. The second form is we may have a vision, image, or idea and may or may not understand it, but we have no idea what needs to be done to manifest it. Here it is about holding the vision, image, or idea with an unwavering faith and trust and listen to our intuition as to how it will direct what we should do or the direction we should travel. In this case, the human mind will continually look to make sense out of the journey. The human mind will use what it thought the vision, image, or idea is about, using past experiences and the context of when the vision, image, or idea was received at that point in time. At these times, our mind never dreamed or imagined there could be another way to characterize the energy. The human mind believes what the human mind thinks is correct, but the human mind knows it does not understand a new, never-before experienced creation. No matter what it tries, it becomes a false start. In this case, carrying the vision, image, or idea is like standing on the banks of a river and being able to see the river and say the river will flow to the sea and there will be a mouth at the river as it enters the sea. But what that mouth looks like you do not know because you have not been there, but you know it is there, for that is where the water is flowing. The example here is I experienced the concept of a gentle phoenix. Here I held the vision of the attributes until over the years I obtained the minimum set of experiences to understand how it could be created. The main implication with the creative essence of creation flowing through us to experience its creation is to understand we will create, for we are the creative essence of creation expressing itself. We cannot not create. The essence of our being is about creating. To create is to bring something into existence. Every action we take brings a way of being into creation. Every experience we have in life, we are offered the opportunity to improvisationally respond to what is being presented to us. In every moment, we can repeat the past or be open to what is being offered and move in the direction that allows us to move towards more fulfillment in life. However, the question is, are we creating in alignment with the flow of the creative life energy, the creative essence instilled in us, or are we diverting the energy based on what our mind has come to think and believe? Here we need to emphasize our mind only knows what it has experienced in life and does not know what the creative essence of creation desires to experience through us. Knowing our life as a new, original, never-before experienced creation, we cannot rely on our mind to know what to do, but we can align with the flow of energy we feel, which gives us life and a passion to engage life. We have been created to play a role in a larger orchestrated creation, and we will be carried, if not directed, to the desired experience with sufficient health and energy to achieve what we were created to experience. When aligned with the flow and the desired experience, we will feel a fullness of life and be energized to engage life. If we get off track, we will feel something is missing in life. We will feel a dissatisfaction, if not a depression, with life. We will feel a lack of motivation and direction in life, and maybe even a pain that we seek to numb in some way. It has been observed we need to learn to navigate from the heart. That is, to allow our heartfelt passion, that which gives us life and excites us about life, to lead, and to have our mind, based on what it has come to know and learn about being in creation for this time and place, to figure out how to move in a direction our heart desires.